These aircraft will allow the US Air Force to assert its air superiority over any battlefield of the future.
USA did
And we
this
all
in
know that
1980.
control of these skies is the biggest
other countries
decider
are doing
in
it now.
any war.
Wow.
The next reason why any
Hey guys, it's the Loud Guys. Today we are going to react to 5 reasons you shouldn't mess with USA. And the thing is, this video is very interesting and someone sent us this video. And the thing is, 5 reasons you shouldn't mess with USA. I think so. The number one reason would be the army only, because US has one of the biggest army, or the biggest army in the world. Even though China is going to, China is very much competing USA, but in the thing is, USA's army budget and the defense budget is very high, so nobody can match it till now. And the thing is, the whole world also, you can say, is not able to match what USA spends on its army, because their army goes into many other countries also. So that is one of the reasons. I don't know what are the other 4 reasons. I'm very interested to know.
Yes, even the defense of USA is very much, they supply defense things to other countries. And yes, we have watched previously 21 weird things about US, and that video was so interesting because we got to know really crazy things and different and interesting things about US. And now this is going to be about maybe the army and the big things about USA. So let's watch it out at what is there in this video, because I'm excited to know much about this country now.
Yeah, sure, I'm too interested to watch it, so let's start.
The collapse of the Soviet Union in the early 90s left the United States as the sole superpower in the world, and it's never looked back. In all aspects of the world, the United States is indeed a superpower, especially when it comes to its military might, which is unsurpassable in its strength, technological superiority, operational capabilities, and power projection across the globe. In this video, we'll take a look at the 5 top reasons why you wouldn't want to go against the US military establishment. The United States Air Force is the strongest in the world, not only in the number of operational aircraft, but also in technological superiority. The country currently operates a total of over 15,000 military aircraft, combining all the branches of the military service, including the US Navy, US Army, Coast Guard, and the US Marines. As of 2017, the US Air Force alone has a fleet of over 5,300 aircraft, 406 intercontinental ballistic missiles, and 170 military satellites, greater than any other country in the world.
Yes.
The USA has the largest number of stealth aircraft designed to be silent killers and untrackable by the radar defense systems of most countries in the world. Some of these stealth aircraft include air superiority fighters such as the F-22 Raptor and the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter, heavy bombers such as the B-2 Spirit. In fact, the United States pioneered this technology in the 1980s with the introduction of the F-117 Nighthawk stealth attack aircraft.
So they are years ahead of everyone.
Stealth aircraft are designed to avoid detection using a variety of technologies that reduce radar reflection from ground, sea, or air-based radar antennas, thereby reducing its radar cross-section, or RCS. This revolutionary technology allows a 5th-generation aircraft, such as the F-22 Raptor, with a max takeoff weight of 83,500 pounds, to have a radar cross-section of just 0.0001 meters squared, about the size of a bumblebee. What's more insane is that the massive B-2 bomber also has the same radar cross-section as the F-22 Raptor. Thus, it becomes extremely difficult to track stealth aircraft. Even if the enemy spots them on their radar scopes, it's a whole other story to successfully track them and register a missile kill. The whole idea behind this technology is to break the chain in which a conventional surface-to-air missile defense system works. It's the same reason countries like China and Russia are also hard at developing their own stealth fighter, the Chengdu J-20 and the Sukhoi Su-57, respectively. These aircraft will allow the US Air Force to assert its air superiority over any battlefield of the future.
USA did this in 1980.
Control of these skies is the biggest decider in any war. The next reason why any country going to war with the US military should think twice is because of the strength of the US Navy and its dominance over the world's ocean, especially the Navy's supercarriers. The US Navy currently operates 11 nuclear-powered Nimitz-class supercarriers, which is the largest aircraft carrier fleet in the world. The only navy that can come close in terms of technological advancement is probably the Royal Navy of the United Kingdom, but they only have 2 operational carriers. The Nimitz class of
They have
carriers
11, they
has
have
a
2,
displacement
and they are
of
on the
over
second place.
100,000 tons and can carry a complement of up to 70 aircraft. They're literally a floating small town in the ocean with its own airport. The Nimitz class carriers in themselves are extremely potent offensive weapons, but the way they operate in what is called the carrier strike groups makes these ships even more deadly. A carrier seldom deploys alone. There are always a fleet of surface and underwater assets surrounding them and forming a strike group. These include guided missile cruisers, a destroyer
really
squadron,
very hard to
attack
mess with
submarines,
USA.
and other support vessels. Together, they project the power of the carrier and at the center of the group forward towards the enemy.
Amazing.
Wow.
While the
That's
carrier is
amazing.
carrying out its offensive role with the use of its air wing, the other ships are responsible to protect its flanks against any enemy attack. This combination of offensive and defensive strategy makes the US carrier strike group almost impenetrable. The United States Navy maintains 9 such carrier strike groups, 8 of which are based in the United States and 1 that's forward deployed to Japan. For over 50 years, this has been the principal element of US power protection, and the Nimitz class of supercarriers are at the center of it all. Despite this,
superb.
the US is currently in the process of developing a new class of carriers called the Gerald R. Ford class, intended to replace the Nimitz class ships. This new supercarrier will be even more technologically advanced and is expected to continue US dominance of the oceans well into the late 21st century.
2100.
The third reason why you shouldn't fight the US military
Long
is their
time.
massive stockpile of nuclear and conventional intercontinental
They are
ballistic
way,
missiles,
way ahead of
or
everyone.
ICBMs. The ICBM plays the role of the land
Like we
leg
talk
in
about
the US
China being the
nuclear
world
triad,
leader.
along with the Trident
cannot be.
submarine-launched ballistic missile
China and even
(SLBM)
Russia.
and
Yeah,
nuclear warheads
only
carried
US
on
can has that.
long-range strategic bombers. ICBMs are launched from ground-based missile silos, achieving high suborbital spaceflight, approximately 1,000 miles above the surface of the Earth. The body of the missile then separates from the warhead, which re-enters the atmosphere and free falls to the assigned target at hypersonic speeds.
Wow.
The US military currently operates 400 ICBMs from its base in Wyoming, Montana, and North Dakota. The LGM-30G Minuteman III is the only type of ICBM that is currently operational in the US. The Minuteman III family of ICBMs were first developed in the 1960s as a response to the Soviet nuclear threat. Throughout the Cold War and beyond, these missiles have undergone constant modernization. In the last decade alone, the US military has undertaken $7 billion worth of upgrades. The
$7
rocket
billion.
propulsion engines, the propellants used, the guidance system, and even the flight control surfaces have all been refurbished. The upgraded missiles are completely different from its 1960s counterparts, except for the shell. These state-of-the-art improvements and modernization programs have kept the Minuteman III system operational for over 50 years with improved reliability that supports the missile's remarkable 99% alert rate. The latest versions of the missiles
Like the
have a
US
range of
know
over
they have so
8,000
many
miles,
rivals.
which is greater
They have
than
to
the diameter of the
continuously upgrade
Earth at
themselves.
7,917.5 miles. They can carry multiple 330 kiloton nuclear
My
warheads,
God.
which is 20 times greater than the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and
Oh,
Nagasaki.
20.
Not only that, each of these warheads can be assigned to different targets independently.
Wow.
The technology is called Multiple Independently Targetable
Like they
Re-Entry
can
Vehicle,
end the universe,
or
like
MIRV,
end the Earth, you
and
can say,
was
basically.
first developed for the Minuteman
Okay.
III family of missiles.
If they want.
So any country
They
messing with the
won't.
United
Ah, they
States
should
will
not.
have to deal with this
We are good
awesome
people.
arsenal of firepower, which can be launched at a moment's notice. If it weren't the ICBMs or the stealth fighters raining fire down on you,
Then?
it would be precision-guided munitions, or better known as smart bombs or PGMs instead. This is another big reason why not messing with the US military is a good idea. All branches of the US military use smart bombs in some forms or the other. These weapon systems are designed to be precise and hit a specific target with maximum efficiency. These bombs are
Smart
so
bomb?
effective that during the
I
First
don't
Gulf
even
War,
have a smart watch.
PGMs comprised only 9% of weapons fired, but accounted for 75% of all successful hits. Since then, for the US military at least, the days of normal artillery shells and unguided bombs are long gone. Nowadays, the military uses PGMs from air, ground, and sea.
Wow.
Precision-guided munitions come in various forms and use different kinds of technologies to achieve precise hits. A large majority of PGMs use the Global Positioning System or GPS of satellites to guide their
via
trajectory
GPS they
to
can select a
target.
location and they
However,
could just destroy that
sometimes this
location.
becomes a problem as GPS coverage is not always reliably available everywhere across the globe, or bad weather conditions can hinder operations. Thus, the Office of Naval Research, the Naval Surface Warfare Center, and the Army Research Laboratory have all coordinated to develop the first ever artillery-fired smart munition that will not use GPS guidance.
Wow.
The project is known as Moving Target Artillery Round, or MTAR for short. The MTAR shell can be guided onto stationary as well as moving targets in both land and sea, using a combination of guidance technology. The best part is that these shells can be fired from the existing M777A2 155mm towed howitzer and the M109A7 Paladin Integrated Management Self-Propelled 155mm artillery systems
Only
already in
fools
use
would mess
by
with
the US
USA.
military. The shells will also feature an extended range of 40 to 60 miles using rocket boosters to propel them.
God.
Once finished, it will afford the US military another potent weapon system that outclasses others around the world. Lastly, the fifth and final reason why you shouldn't fight the US military is drones. We're all familiar with what an unmanned aerial vehicle or drone is and what it's supposed to do. But in recent years, the usability of UAVs are steadily increasing to encompass all spheres of military operations,
They are ahead in
and the US military is
every
the
aspect.
pioneering spirit behind it. At first, used only for surveillance missions, drones were quickly weaponized after the 9/11 attacks and have been extensively used by the US military in the war against terror as an offensive weapon platform. It's forecasted that over the next decades, the US is in line to purchase over 1,000 combat drones of various classifications.
1,000 drones.
Some of them, like the Lockheed Martin RQ-170 Sentinel and the Boeing MQ-25 Stingray, are already in the final stages of development, and once finished, will provide the US military with state-of-the-art platforms capable of multi-role operations, ranging from attack missions to aerial refueling. Drone technology has reached such heights today that a single UAV can loiter miles above the surface of the Earth for hours, waiting for the target to show
Like,
its
they don't
head
have to
and
wait
stick
and-
with impunity.
For the soldiers'
This
life, and they do
capability
not have to
will
like
allow
stake the
all the
soldiers' life.
services under the US military to reduce its
Industry.
dependency
Yeah.
on manned platforms, thereby reducing the risks during future
Not great for the
combat
other countries.
operations.
Yeah.
These 5 weapon systems make the US military extremely dangerous for any
Yes.
adversary looking to get into a conflict
Don't
with
mess
them.
with them.
In a conventional warfare setting, it's almost impossible to beat the US military machine. That's why modern enemies of the United States are employing more and more asymmetric warfare strategies against the mighty US military. Despite that, the US military juggernaut is hands down the most powerful military complex in the world today, and probably will be for decades to come.
I think so. This video should be shown to every country in the world because they should know that these 5 reasons we should not mess with USA. And I think so. All the countries follow this protocol only. Like nobody likes to mess with USA, and like they will mess with USA in some or the other way. Like China and Russia does again and again. Like they will like to poke some or the other things. They will like to do some trade issues with them, but they'll never make sure that they'll never engage into this warfare because they know nobody can ever match. No 2 or 3 countries combined can match what US has in its military.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that maybe this is the reason that Russia don't mess with USA. Like Russia is also a very powerful country, but like it will also think twice before messing with USA, because everybody now knows that USA is really a powerful country, and like we got to know a lot more with this video that in every field, you just name it and they have it in Navy, Army, and what not, defense, everything. They are ahead of everyone. So I guess why anyone will mess with USA, and even USA is on a safe side that if anyone is poking and doing any little things like this, he's on a safe side that he can do everything, so he just don't have to worry. And yeah, this video was really a lot to know about USA.
And the thing was, like, we know that in 90s there was a Cold War between Russia and America. So that was a Cold War because I think so Russia knew what America has with itself. Because now, if Russia would have been within a Cold War with any other country, they would have started a real full-out war that we can see now they are doing with Ukraine. So similarly with that, and they do not want like USA of now to enter into any way into this war that they are doing with Ukraine. So that is the case going on. So that is the might of USA. That is why most of the countries like to sideline with USA only. Like India too likes to be friends with USA. That is the case.
And
Anyway.
people, take like defense. USA supplies defense to another country, so why would another country even think of messing with this
Yeah,
USA?
they do not supply the most latest technology that they have. They do supply a bit of
Obviously,
delayed
that is
technology.
obvious, but-
So that is the thing. So this video was really, really good. So how did you guys find this video? Let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share, and
Subscribe to our channel.
bye.